Friends, hello and welcome on TechGuruSpeaks.com. Today I would like to describe an important data structure in Python that is called Python list. A list in Python is basically a data structure which is mutable, that means modifiable, and it represents an ordered sequence of elements. Each element of a list is called an item and it allows duplicate items. Python doesn't have built-in support for arrays. So using list, we can represent arrays in Python. Lists are defined by having items between the square brackets. As an ordered sequence of elements, each item in a list can be called separately using indexing. Basically, lists in Python are a compound data type made up of smaller parts and are very flexible because they can have values being added, removed and modified. When we need to store a lot of values or iterate over values and we want to readily modify those values, we will likely want to work with list data types. So that is the basic idea of Python list. Now I would like to demonstrate Python list by using the Spider IDE, which is one of the most popular IDEs for Python programming. So let's move to the Spider IDE. Now today, instead of writing a Python program that will be having a .py extension, we would like to write the Python statement line by line, and after then I will execute them so that each of the statement that will represent the use of Python list should clearly be understood by the audience. So that is why I will be using interactive Python, the area where the Python program output is basically normally shown. So I will be using the IPython console, that is interactive Python console, that will be basically permitting line by line execution. So it will be better for you to understand the statements that will be used for writing code statements in Python, and basically it is allowing line by line execution. So now I will be demonstrating the Python list using the interactive Python, that is IPython. So let's begin with it. First I would like to create a list that will be representing a mega city. Say for example the name of the list is mega city underscore list. Now I would like to include some of the city names like mega city names here so that I could be able to demonstrate with the Python program statement. So suppose I will be having here, for example, few of the Indian mega cities being included. So basically a Python list is having elements and it is to be placed inside square brackets. That is the idea. So in that way a list can be created. So the list is now ready. Okay. So by using the print function we can print the list here. So what is the name here? The name is mega city underscore list. So if I run this statement, like by using the print function, I could be able to print the city values, that is the mega city values. Okay. So that is the idea. I would like to give you one trick that is basically applicable for IPython console only. Like instead of having print function, we can also refer to them by using the name only, like the variable name that is representing the list here. So instead of using the print function, we can also print them by using the name of the variable that is representing the list. Okay, so here we can have two alternative representations in IPython console. That means you can print a variable by using its name or by using the print function. Clear? So now in the earlier example, I have a megacity list that will be based on strings. Like all of the elements or items in the list are basically representing homogeneous elements, like similar type of elements, and they are basically of string type. But here we can have mixed list also, like we can have different data types grouped together in a list. So now I would like to give you one such example. Suppose the name of the list is mixed list. So it is the name of the list, mixed list. Now suppose it is having say three elements and each of them are of different types. Say for example it is named motherland. So motherland is basically a string. Clear? And lastly I can have a floating point type variable. So now I press enter. So the list is now being created. So now instead of using print function, I will be trying to print it by using the variable name only, and it will be showing the name. That means the list has been created, that is actually trying to group items of different data types. Like 10 is basically of integer, motherland is basically of string, and 15.3 it is basically a decimal number, that is a floating point type. Okay, so now I would like to give you one example of nested list. That means list under list. Say for example that is named nested list. So I will have square bracket first. Suppose I would like to include here a city name. Say for example London. It is of string type. Then I can have the single digit even numbers like 0 to 4 6 8. It is also a list. Clear? And then I can have a character or string, because there is no character data in Python. So suppose it is representing a list that is having only one string, that is called x. So I would like to give you the example of nested list. That means list within list. Clear? So in that way I can demonstrate here nested list, because in Python single bracket, double bracket, and single quotation, double quotation, and triple quotation will represent a particular string. So there is no difference. So using single quote, double quote, or triple quote, we can represent a string here. Okay. So now I'll be trying to print it. So now I'll be trying to print the statement. So it has been printed over here. That means it is an example of nested list. Now I would like to create a list by using the constructor. Say for example I would like to create a list for different countries by using the constructor. So here we have to use double round brackets. Remember it. We have to create a list. If we need to do so by using the list constructor, we have to have the double round brackets. Okay. So that is the idea. So suppose the name of the list that I would like to create here, that is named country list. Okay. So country list, within country list I would like to create a list of countries. So now I like to have the double round brackets within which I will be specifying the elements to be included in the list. It is called double round bracket. Remember it. It is called double round bracket. Normally it is also called fast bracket. Suppose I would like to include some of the country names here. Say India, China, Russia, America, and England. I would like to include here 5 country names. Okay, so I have used here double round bracket, that means double first bracket. So the list now is created, and you can also check it. So it has been created. So in that way I can create different type of list here. Like in the first example, I have created a list which is basically representing all the elements are of same types, like string type. The next example, I have tried to create a list by using different data types. Okay, then I have tried to create a list within a list. That is the idea of nested list. And lastly, I have created a list by using the list constructor. Clear? So here you have to use double round bracket. So now I would like to give you the use of indexing technique. How can you use the indexing technique to access the different elements of the list? So now I will be using the same line of code here, though it is already created, but still I will be trying to execute it since it is already created. So if you are just writing here megacity list, it will be printed here. So it has been printed over here. So now I would like to provide you the idea of using indexes. Okay, say for example, now I would like to write here megacity list within third bracket 1. That means it is trying to access the first element in the list. So it is basically Mumbai, because Delhi is megacity list 0, Mumbai is 1, Kolkata is 2, Bengaluru is 3, and Chennai is 4, because it is having 5 elements. So it will be started from 0 and it will end at 4. So megacity list 1 will be representing Mumbai. Remember that the same thing can be done by using the print function also, but I will be using the variable names here because it is permitted in interactive Python console. So normally we print them by using the print function, but here since we are having some alternative options available, we can use it. So that we are doing here, so that is showing the same thing that I have already told it several times. Clear? So instead of using print function, we can use the variable name directly in the IPython console. Okay, so remember it. Now here I have used a single index, that means the location of a single element or item in the list, but you can have say more than one element to be specified by using the slicing technique. Okay, so it is one of the indexing technique, but here it can represent more than one element. So that will be using the square bracket, and the start index and the end index, that will be separated by colon. Okay, so remember. So now I will be using the square bracket with the help of the technique that is called slicing. Slicing means what? Slicing means it will be trying to access a number of elements, not a single element. The single element can be accessed by using the specific index, but here we are going to access a number of elements here. Okay, so that is why I will be using here the slicing index. So it is having the syntax within square bracket x colon y. Okay, so it will be basically trying to print the values from 2 to 4, like 2 is Kolkata, Bengaluru is 3, and Chennai is 4. So if I am writing here 2 colon 5, that means it will be starting from 2 and it will be end at 4. That means 1 less than the value that I have specified here. So that is why it will be printing the elements that is having indexes like 2, 3, and 4. Clear? So that is the idea. Now I would like to print all of the elements from say first index to the last. Okay, so that I can also do it. So here first index means it is the index of the second element. So that means 1 colon, so there is no end index, that means it will be start printing from the first index position to the last. So in that way we can print a number of elements by using the slicing option. Okay, here we can also have the negative indexing. Okay, so it is one of the interesting features of Python. Okay, so first remember it, we can access a specific index by using the square bracket, and within it we can mention the position, or we can have a range of indices that is called slicing, and which is of the form, so like we can have a square bracket within which I can write here the beginning index colon the end index. So that is the idea that I have followed here. Now I can also give you examples that will support that Python basically supporting the negative indexing. Okay, that means here we can have negative indexing in Python. Say for example, I am writing here the variable name that is named megacity underscore list, that is basically the name of the list. Suppose I am writing here -2, clear? So -2 is basically showing Bengaluru. Okay, but if I am writing here -1, that means it will be printing the last element. Just have a look at the list here. So -1 means the last element. Okay, so -2 means what? The element which basically precedes before the last element. So in that way, so logic is to be implemented. So that means it is basically supporting backward, say accessing of the elements by using the negative indexes. Okay, that means we can search the list from the last position. So now I can have also another example of slicing by using the negative index, that is -4 colon -2. Clear? So it will be showing here Mumbai to Kolkata. Okay, so it is basically -1, it is -2, it is -3, it is -4. So it will be just printing here -4 and -3. So that is why it will be printing here Mumbai and Kolkata only. So basically we have understood the use of, say indexing technique by using a single index, by using the slicing, that is a range of indices, and it supports the negative indexing also. So that is the beauty of Python. Now I would like to change element of a list. Say for example, I am having this list at present. So this is the list that I am having now. Now suppose I would like to change the element which is at position 3. So how can you do it? So you can do it by using the index number that will be indicating the value Bengaluru. Now it is, suppose for example, replaced by its old name. Say for example, that is Bangalore. So now Bengaluru is getting replaced by Bangalore. Remember that is for experimentation purpose only. So just I would like to change this name Bengaluru by Bangalore. So that I am going to do here. So that is the idea. So here the value at the third position is basically Bengaluru. Now after executing this statement, if I am to print this value, say like megacity list 3, it will be now showing Bangalore. That means what? The value has been changed in the main list. Clear? So now I would like to print it as a list. So now you can see the change here, like Bengaluru has now become Bangalore. So in that way the process may be continued. Okay, now afterwards if you like to change the value, so also you can change it, like you can also replace it by the old name. So now I will be using the old name Bengaluru, that is Actually the old name is getting replaced by the new name. So it is having the list of 5 mega cities in India. Now I would like to access them by using the for in loop. Clear? So how can you do it? Say for example, for say each of the element is called item, for item in mega city list. Sorry, I have forgotten about the colon that is used for loop. So print within bracket, I have to mention item. Now it will print all of the items in the mega city. Okay, so in that way all of the items in the given list can be get printed by using for in loop. So that is the idea. So now I would like to know the length of this list. So it can be done by using the len function. So it is the name of the list. So I will be writing here len, len, that is the name of the function. So it is showing the value as 5. That means the length of the list is basically 5. Okay, so next I would like to give you some examples related to the idea of membership. That means by using the in. So for example, I would like to check whether an item is present in the list or not. Say for example, the name of the item, for example, is named, say for example, Chennai. So now I would like to check whether this variable is now present in the given list or not. So that can be done by using, say, if item in mega city list just print yes, it's true. That means it is there. Okay, so that is a thing I would like to test here. Yes, it is true. That means the membership operator can now be used for checking whether an item is present in the list or not by using the in operator. Now I would like to add an item to the end of a list. Clear? Say for example, I can have the same list again like the mega city list. So it is having now 5 items, that is 5 mega city names are there. Now suppose I would like to add one more item. Say for example, I would like to add the name of the mega city Ahmedabad. Okay, so I will be now using mega city list dot append. Remember it, the name of the function is append. So here within the round bracket of the append function, I have to specify which value I would like to add here. Say Ahmedabad. So that is already done. Now I would like to print it, say, by using mega city list. So now it is being added here. So earlier it was having 5 elements, now it is having 6 elements in it. Okay, so remember that by using the append function, it is basically adding that particular element to the end. Remember it, by using the append function we can add an item to the end of the list. Okay, but suppose if you would like to add a number of items, so here you cannot use the append function. Instead you have to use the function extend. Remember it. So for adding one element at the end of the list, you have to use the append function. But if you would like to add several items in the given list, you have to use the extend function. So that is the difference. Say for example, I would like to consider a separate list here, say odd underscore list, that will be basically representing the single digit odd numbers. Suppose it is having numbers like 1 and 3 only, I have included only two numbers. Clear? So first I will demonstrate the use of append, then the use of extend. So now I'll be say doing the append operation. Say for example, I am writing here append say 5. So that means the value will be added to the end of the odd underscore list. So now if I would like to print it, I would like to remember you one thing, I am not using print function most of the cases because the IPython console supports the printing of a variable by mentioning its name only. So that is why I am not using the print function. But while I am using the say control statements like if or loop, if statement or for loop like kind of statement, then I am using the print function. So now I would like to print it. So it is now showing the append function being applied properly. The element has been added to the end. Now I would like to use the extend function. So I would like to use here extend. Suppose for example I would like to add here 7 and 9. Just have a look at it. Sorry, it can be basically added by using the third bracket only. So that is why it is not running properly. We have to include the third bracket here. So now it will be working. Clear? So I can also check it. So it's working fine. Clear? So when you are going to use the extend function, remember it, you have to mention them by using a list. Okay, so that is why I have to mention here the square bracket, and within which I have to write 7 comma 9, that is the elements being added to the end of the list. So that will be done by using the list, okay, with the help of the extend function. Next comes the use of the plus operator. We can also use the plus operator to combine two lists. Say for example I am having another list here, say even underscore list. So it is now having 0, 2 and say for example 4. So just I would like to print it for testing. So it is okay. Now I would like to add, say for example, so it is now added. So if I am going to print it, so I can, if I am going to print it basically by using the name of this, so it will be showing it, okay. But if I am going to say print it like by using the print function or by using this one like even list plus the value that is being added here, so then it will be done successfully, okay. So in that way I can use the plus operator for printing the list of values. That means I can combine two lists here for printing by using the plus operator. Now I can also use the star operator, that is the asterisk operator, to repeat a list for a given number of times. Say for example, I would like to write here, say for example, so it is basically the list, it is having only one element. Now suppose I would like to repeat it for 3 times, that is thrice. So it will be repeated for 3 times. So that can be done, but remember that for using plus or asterisk operator, you have to print the thing, like you have to print the list, otherwise it will not work. Now we are going to insert an item to a list by using the insert function. Now just before going to demonstrate it, I would like to mention one thing, like the difference between append and extend is that append is basically adding only one element to the end of the list, while the extend is basically, it is the correct syntax, used for adding more than one element to the end of the list. So that is the difference between append and extend. Both of them are used for adding elements to the end of the list. Remember it, at the end of the list only, but append is for adding only one element to the end of the list, while extend is used for adding more than one element to the end of the list. Now by using insert function, I can add an item to a specific position of a list. Say for example, now I would like to mention the old example of mega city list. Okay, so suppose for example I would like to add the city named Hyderabad at, say for example, position 4. Okay, so now I would like to add the city Hyderabad at position number 4. So first I'll be mentioning the position number, then the element. Say for example it is named Hyderabad. Then I would like to give the round bracket. So it's done. So it is now showing the values here. Clear? That means here Delhi is 0, so Mumbai 1, Kolkata 2, Bengaluru 3, then Hyderabad is added at the 4th position. So after that Chennai and Ahmedabad has been shifted to its, the individual value basically they are having shifted to its right. Okay, so that is the idea. Now suppose I would like to remove one element from a list. For doing it, I can use the remove method. So remember that in this example I have used the insert method for inserting an element to a specific position. Now I can use the remove method, okay, for removing a particular element from a given list. Suppose I would like to remove here Hyderabad. So now suppose here I will be using the remove function. So it is the name of the function, it is called remove. So it is for removing elements from the list. So now if I am printing this, so the value Hyderabad gets deleted. Okay, there is another method that can be used for removing element, that is called, say for example, pop. So it is having two variations, like if I am mentioning the index number, okay, if I am mentioning the index number, so that will be removing the element at that particular position. Okay, so the element to be removed here is Kolkata. So the element Kolkata is now removed from the list. Okay, but if I am not specifying here any say index position here, it will be basically removing the last element. So it is basically removing the last element. Clear? Now I can also use the del keyword. Okay, I can also use the del keyword to remove an element from the list. Suppose for example I would like to say delete the value at position number 1 by using the del keyword. It is now deleted. So if I am just trying to print it, so the value Mumbai which was at position 1 now gets deleted. Okay, by using the del keyword we can also delete the list completely. Okay, so if I am writing here mega city list, before it I am using the del keyword. So in the earlier example I have used a del keyword to delete an element or item from the given list. Now basically I am using the del keyword to remove the entire list. Now it gets deleted. Now if I am trying to print it, it will be showing that megacity list is not defined. Clear? So that is the idea. Now I am trying to create it again because I would like to continue with the next examples for demonstration. So after using the del keyword to delete a particular list, don't try to print it. Okay, so if you are using that kind of statement in your Python program, use a comment statement. So now it has been created. Clear? So now suppose I would like to use the clear method. So basically so far I have used methods like remove, pop using a particular position or without mentioning any position, that will basically removing the last element. Okay, and I have also used the del keyword that can be used for a single element deletion or it can delete the entire list. Now I would like to use the clear method. So basically what will it do? It will be doing what? It will be basically used for clearing the entire list. So now I will be using the clear method. Okay, so if I am try to print it now after applying the clear method on it, it will be basically showing an empty list. Okay, so that is the idea. By using the clear method you can make the list empty. Clear? So that is the square bracket he is basically showing here an empty list. Now I would like to create it again for next example demonstration. Now suppose I would like to reverse a list. Okay, so for that I can use the reverse method. Okay, so by using the reverse method I can reverse a list. So here it has been reversed. Okay, remember it. Now suppose I would like to change it again. So if I am trying to print it, it will be showing the old value. So suppose we are going to sort the elements by according to their chronological order. So now I would like to make use of the sort method. So that will be performing the sort. Okay, that is sorting. So now I would like to print it. So it gets sorted. So like Bengaluru, starting letter is B, Chennai, starting letter is C, Delhi, D, Kolkata, K, and Mumbai. So basically they are chronologically sorted by using the sort function or method. Okay. Now suppose I would like to say make a copy of the entire list to a different list. Suppose the name of the list is, say for example, copy list, copy underscore list, to which I would like to make a copy of the current list, that is mega city list. So dot copy, so that is the name of the function. Okay, so if I am trying to print it, so it will be showing the same list of elements. So in that way list elements can be getting copied into another list. So I hope that you have understood what are the different kinds of operation that can be applied on a list. Like after creating a list, you can have different types of list, like it can have homogeneous element, heterogeneous elements, it can represent a nested list, that is list within a list. You can also create a list by using the list constructor, and I have given you the examples of addition, that means at the end, at any position, remove by using the remove function or by using the pop. And I can also use the del keyword. I can reverse a list. I can perform a chronological order based sorting on a particular list. Okay, I can clear a list. I can make a copy of the list. So several operations are being performed on the different elements of the list. So I also hope that you have understood how to use the list data structure wisely in your program, and I will be hoping that you will be able to use it in your program using a more intelligent way. Okay, so now I would like to conclude from here, but before going I would like to request you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So it is the URL of my YouTube channel, and it is my website. You can find here lots of useful information, and this is my official email ID. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.